Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about how to relax and fall asleep, and relaxing is something we seem to unlearn as we get older. Most children can switch states and go into a deeply relaxed state almost instantly, or they can be hyper, but they can do it. But as we get older, relaxing seems to be something that takes a lot more effort than it should, and sometimes we just stress ourselves too much, so preferably without the use of artificial aids such as alcohol or sleeping pills. How can you learn to relax and let yourself fall asleep and have a good night's rest? You can start by not stressing about relaxing. The more you wind yourself up about it, the less relaxed you're going to be. The more we think about not being able to do something, the more we end up focusing on that happening. And that's the law of attraction in practice. What we think about most manifests most. And because our subconscious mind doesn't handle negatives, then we often attract the things we're trying to avoid, and that includes relaxation and falling asleep. Remember that our minds often need time to slow down. Although we can switch modes fast, adrenaline helps us to do that quite effectively, it's often the case that we need time. And start unwinding a while before you go to bed, and that's a vague duration because personally, I find 20 to 30 minutes works well for me, but other people I know need closest to an hour, and other people have mastered the trick of I'm in bed, it's time to sleep, so there's definitely no one-size-fits-all answer here. So again, chill about that. Don't hype yourself up because you can't fall asleep in the same time as someone else does, or even the same time as you did last night. Television might seem a good way to unwind, but it depends an awful lot on what you're watching. The news is a really bad idea. That applies at all times, not just before you want to fall asleep. The news is full of negatives and full of things that don't affect you directly or probably even indirectly, and that you can't affect or control anyway. So unless your favourite team is on the sports news, and you can easily get that on the web anyway, just don't watch the news. Go cold turkey if need be. But if it seems as though you've always watched the news, maybe you need to wean yourself off it. Choose a shorter bulletin or browse the web instead. But don't watch or read the news too close to going to sleep. Otherwise your mind will start processing all sorts of what-if scenarios instead of relaxing. What if that explosion the other side of the world, or that volcano, or whatever? So many things. Yeah, what if you can't do anything about it? Just ignore it. And instead of news or television or streaming shows on the web, do something else to relax. And that doesn't mean just one last look at Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever, because those will do the same thing to your mind. They'll start running all sorts of ideas in it, and they'll increase your mind chatter rather than reduce it. Again, you'll be, why hasn't someone favorited that? Why do less people like me than my friend, or whatever else? And in practice, it's only a click of a button. It doesn't really matter. Some people find that relaxing in a nice warm bath helps, and if you've got time or can make time, and that's actually another trick to relaxing, making time to relax. But if you've got time in your schedule, that works well, but it seems most of us either can't or won't have a nice long warm bath. Always assuming we've got a bath we can use in the first place. Showers are more efficient, but personally I've never found them particularly relaxing. But not everyone has a bath, so that might not be an option available to you. Another trick is start breathing deeply, and that works for relaxing any time of the day, but is especially effective last thing at night. Nice, long, deep breaths. Let the air come in, let it fill your lungs, and then slowly exhale. And if you can yawn while you take in some of those deep breaths, even better, because yawning signals it getting drowsy and helps your body to realise it's time to zone out and sleep. Deep breaths work really well on their own if you're not easily able to yawn on demand, and the mere process of breathing more slowly, hopefully you're doing that now as my voice has deepened slightly and has slowed down a little bit. Breathing more slowly helps your body to relax and signals that it's time to go into the land of Nod. Another option is doing a progressive relaxation. It's a great way to relax. Start at one end of your body, and that's the tips of your toes or the top of your head, and gradually get each part to relax. Just tell it to relax and let it chill, and imagine it relaxing. There are guided meditations available online that will talk you through the process, and if you don't find them too distracting, they can be. Other people find them brilliant. Then they can be a good thing to use. Experiment. There's no one size fits all in this. But really, it's just as easy to talk yourself through the process. Tell each part of your body in turn to relax. Feel it relaxing, and then move up or down to the next part. So if you're starting with the crown of your head, just feel it relaxing. You probably never really concentrated on whether your crown of your head can be relaxed or not, but just let it happen and just imagine what it would be like if it was relaxed. And then move down to your forehead, let that relax. And further down the eyebrows, eyes, and your nose, and your mouth, and your chin, and your neck. And then further and further down. You don't have to be anatomically correct in this. So if you don't know what a particular part of your body is officially called, that's fine. Just, that bit above my stomach, the bit near my belly button, that works. Just get a sense of the part you want to relax and go with it. A lot of people find they actually don't get right the way through their body before they've fallen asleep, and that's a fantastic place to be. But even if you get from head to toe, or toe to head, you should be more relaxed, and don't fight the idea that your eyes can close and that you can drift off to sleep. It's perfectly natural to let yourself drift off to sleep when you're doing a progressive relaxation or anything else. Just, well, not driving, but almost anything else. So let it happen. And as seasons change, it's not unusual to have a mismatch in temperatures. The winter duvet can keep you too warm in the summer. You end up cooking. Equally, your summer duvet can be too chilly in the autumn or winter, and it's a bit like you're sort of trying to sleep in a fridge. So keep an eye, monitor the temperatures on your bedroom to make sure that they're as close to whatever's normal for you as possible. Another thing that will help you relax is keeping your bedroom as dark as possible. You're probably old enough not to be able to sleep, or to be able to sleep without the lights on. If not, try it. Then take it one step further. Block out the small power-on lights on any electrical appliances. I use blue tack. Just cover them, because it's amazing how different the darkness can be when you do that. Cover your alarm clock if you've got one. It'll still wake you up on schedule. Invest in some blackout curtains or drapes if necessary. Just make your bedroom as dark as possible, like the deepest, darkest night that you can ever remember. And just do anything you can to make your bedroom as dark as possible. So it could be, one of those little snakes that goes across the door to keep if there's a light that's always on outside your apartment or whatever. Anything you need to do. And remember, not everyone needs the same amount of sleep. 8 hours a day is a suggestion, but so 7 or even 6. And weirdly, there have been studies that have shown that if you tell yourself you need a certain number of hours sleep, that's the right number, even if that number is different from your normal amount. So if you just tell yourself, I only need 6 hours tonight, and that you'll wake up refreshed and wide awake in the morning after those 6 hours, and yeah, it'll probably happen. And do your best not to concentrate on still being awake, because it's the law of attraction again. You're inadvertently telling your subconscious that you want to stay awake. I'm not awake, I'm still awake. Well, panic. No, you'll wake up fast enough if something happens. If you need to be awakened, it'll happen. But until then, just focus on chilling out and drifting slowly and whatever into sleep. And if you find counting sheep is relaxing, do it. If the idea of counting gets frustrating, it does for me, especially when I've reached over 100 a few times in a row, and I've done that. Switch tactics, turn over, stare at a spot on the ceiling until your eyes actually do naturally close. Do that with some deep breathing as well. Or put on some relaxing music, and personally I often listen to a meditation track before I go to sleep, and I rarely get to the end of it. And there are pillows that you can get that will play that rather than having to wear headphones and wonder, will I crush them as I turn over or whatever. So lots of different ways to do that. And if you'd like more self-help stuff's a weird word, but it works, click the link below this video. There's lots and lots of things available, and a lot of them are on free trials, so you can experiment with them at no risk. There's meditation tracks, all sorts of stuff. Click the link below and find out how to find out more. Thanks for watching.